Okay, right here we got Harold Lederman, famous voice for HBO announcer. Gonna run through a couple questions for him. Harold Lederman, how does it feel? How long have you been in the game?
Well, I've been with HBO 27 years, but I started judging amateur boxing in 1965, so that's 35, 13, 48 years.
That's a long time. So we get to hear you every 3 rounds and stuff with your opinion on how the round's going. With a lot of the scorecards that's going the way that they are, how do you feel that the judging's been going lately?
Well, there's been a few controversial decisions in the last year, but hey, that's what makes boxing. People remember the controversial fights. I really believe from the bottom of my heart that people love controversies. They love to yell about, hey, this guy got robbed, that guy got robbed, this guy didn't get a fair decision. I mean, I think boxing thrives on controversial decisions. I don't always agree with the judges, but I do the best I can, So as long as you get an honest call. I mean, I think that the biggest problem with judging boxing today is that you get a lot of high-profile fights that are on TV, and the commissions don't appoint the right judges. They have good judges, and they appoint guys that are on the way up, guys that don't know what they're looking at, and they know who the good judges are, It's just that they don't use the right judges in high-profile fights. The fights that people are watching on Showtime, on HBO, on ESPN, NBC, if they use the right judges in the high-profile fights, I think we'd have a lot less problems, to be honest with you.
So do you think that for certain high-profile fights that they should bring in outside judges?
Oh, definitely,
From not just from people that if someone's fighting, like Brandon Rios is fighting from California, have a California judge, but you think that you should have like a New York judge, Texas judge, and North Dakota judge, like judge from different sections?
Yeah, Zach, let me tell you, if it were up to me, if I were the commissioner in Nevada, and that's the final say is with the boxing commission in Nevada, for Brandon Rios, Mike Alvarado, I would get the three best judges I could find, no matter where they live, no matter what sanctioning body they're affiliated with or whatever. In other words, you get a Julie Lederman from New York, a Joe Pasquale from Trenton, New Jersey, Michael Pernick from Florida, people we know, Max DeLuca from California is a very good judge. I try to get some real good judges, forget where they live, forget what sanctioning body they work for, get the 3 best judges you could get. You're going to pay them the same thing anyway. It don't cost you any more to get 3 real good judges, but get 3 people that are really, really good, that, been working some really good fights, and I think everything will work out just fine.
I like the plug that you're doing there with Julie Lederman.
Oh, yeah, we got to throw in a word for my daughter, come on. If I don't throw in a word for Julie, she'd beat the hell out of me.
I want to throw in there. Who's a better judge?
Oh, Julie is by a mile. That kid's got a heck of a hook, She throws that Floyd Mayweather check hook, nailed me right on the jaw.
With that being said, how has it been to watch her progress and grow as a judge? Not just being your daughter, but just grow as a...
I tell you, Zach, I'm really, really very proud of her. I think she does a terrific job. With Julie Lederman, the key is she concentrates real well. She knows what she's looking. She knows what she's looking at, and I think she does a very, very, very good job. She really concentrates really well. She watches the fights real close, and I think she does pretty good picking a winner each and every round. And I think she's doing a good job. So I'm proud of her.
Awesome. Okay, so let me ask you this: with the controversial decisions, there's been times where I've heard you on TV where you've been like, "Oh my gosh, that was a horrible decision." Do you think that certain judges that have it just completely wrong, do you think that they should be taken accountable for it? They should be fined or anything like that?
There ain't much you can do. To tell you the truth, you just you look to the future and you say, well, the next time I'm not going to use this one or that one. I don't know if you saw this on the internet or not, but Top Rank objected to Dwayne Ford on Saturday night. He is working the fight. The commission wouldn't pull him. I understand they're using him. They told him they put him on notice, so to speak. But Top Rank said we don't want Dwayne Ford, we don't want C.J. Ross because of the fact that there was a big controversy with Timothy Bradley and Top Rank's fighter Manny Pacquiao. So they objected to C.J. Ross and Dwayne Ford. Dwayne Ford is still working the main event, but as I say, they said that the commission said they'd put him on notice, but they refused to pull him out. Now my feeling is if they appointed me to judge and some promoter came along and said I don't want Harold Lederman, I turned down the assignment. I can't see why Dwayne Ford wants to judge Saturday night if they don't want him. Why would you want to judge in a fight where the promoter doesn't want you? I mean, he doesn't need the money that big. Come on, turn the fight down. Leave him alone. let Rios and Alvarado be happy, not worried about whether Dwayne Ford's the judge or not. That's nonsense. If Top Rank doesn't want him, you ought to use a little brains and say, the hell with it, I'll work the next time, turn the fight down.
Okay. Let me ask you this. There's been a lot of, the Rios Alvarado fight is going to have a lot of action.
We hope so.
Obviously, there's going to be some passions and maybe clashing of heads, and there will be some blood. Do you think that there should be instant replay allowed in boxing to let us know whether it was caused by accidental headbutt or a punch?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all for instant replay. I think it's a very good idea. The time has come for instant replay in boxing. Interestingly enough, on April the 27th, we've got a fight in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Sergio Martinez against Martin Murray from Great Britain, and it's Michael Murray from Great Britain, and we're using instant replay. The WBC has it in place, and they're going to use HBO's equipment, and they're going to use instant replay in the fight on April 27th in the Martinez fight. So we'll see how it goes. I know in the United States there's still a little bit of objection. They don't know exactly, where to bring it in, when to use it, whatever. So I don't know. Whether or not they're going to bring it in soon here in Nevada, in New York, and places where they have a lot of boxing, California, I really don't know. Everybody's been talking about it. Nobody seems to be against it. So it's just a matter of the commissions getting together with the TV networks and setting up the mechanics. So I think we'll see it pretty soon. I mean, I think last week, 2 weeks ago, was sort of a bit of a travesty when Pat Russell blew an obvious knockdown in the first round in Provatnikov and Timothy Bradley, and had he counted that a knockdown, the fight would have been a draw. So, there certainly is a place for instant replay, no doubt about it.
Okay. Last question. I like to end with a funny question. Obviously, Floyd Mayweather's going to fight Robert Guerrero. Okay. Are you more excited for that, or are you excited for the parking lot fight between Floyd Sr. and Guerrero Sr.?
That's a great question. No, I always like to see the old guys fight, I mean, would you believe that I was the judge when Floyd Mayweather Sr. fought Marlon Starling in Atlantic City for the USBA title? That was about 1 million years ago. Floyd says he lost because he got shot in the leg. I told him he lost because Marlon beat the hell out of him. Well, what are you going to do?
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.